Mrityorma Om Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, lead us from unreality to reality. Lead us from darkness of ignorance to light of wisdom. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Welcome to all to the session of philosophy, Vedanta philosophy. We are all philosophers. All of you agree? Philosophy means love of wisdom. Anybody who is a lover of wisdom is a philosopher. So all of you who have come here, we are all having love for the wisdom of Vedanta. So we are all philosophers. Yesterday you had gone through the Indian knowledge system, a sort of a syllabus. Today we will just touch a little of that before, for those who were not there yesterday. The source of Indian knowledge system, the entire knowledge is based on Vedas. And you all know there are 4 Vedas, and each of these Vedas contain several Upanishads, and we understand there are more than 256 Upanishads, out of which 108 are considered as orthodox. And out of that 108, 11 have been commented by the Acharya-trayas, the Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, and Ramanujacharya. So they have become the most important prioritized Upanishads. Now we also understood yesterday that the Upanishad, the Vedas consist of Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda talks about how to live in this world. Whatever the rituals that has been prescribed in the Karma Kanda tells us how to achieve what we desire in this world. The Jnana Kanda talks about beyond the world, who is God, who are you, from where did you come. That aspect is explained in the Upanishads, which is called as Vedanta, the culmination of Veda. Veda means knowledge. Culmination of knowledge is called as Vedanta. Now, today, we will be focusing on the certain the first portion of the Vedanta. Vedanta means the manual of life. It gives us how to live in this world and also what is beyond this world. The 2 aspects. When we are living in this world from birth to death, how do we live? The second aspect is how do we find out, is there anything after the life? After my death, what happens to me? They say there is a God. Who is this God? So these are the 2 main themes of Vedanta. So in the next 4 sessions, we will be mainly covering the first portion, the manual of life, how to live in this world. I would like to ask you all, the life, we have all led our lives. I don't know, I'm not seeing many faces. The age group maybe from 20 years to 60 years. So we have lived 2 decades to 4, 5, 6, 7 decades. If I ask you, in your understanding, you have lived through this so many decades, what is life? which we have gone through. I'm sure now we cannot be so interactive. If it is an offline, probably that would have been very nice. So each one will have their own explanation, or probably even many of them, when I asked in offline sections, many of them, they didn't know what to answer. So this is where Vedanta helps us to know our own life. Why we should know our life? So the entire philosophy explains that the only human beings have been provided with the highest capacity, which he alone can find out what is beyond the world, and if there is something like that, how to achieve it. So that's why we must understand what is life. Socrates says, unexamined life is not worth living. If we don't examine our life, he says it is not worth living, because the human birth is supposed to be the rarest of rare. And if we don't examine this and find it out, we may lose a chance to get the liberation. We may go back into various different species. So that is why this life is very important. Now, coming to what is life, can we?
Different experiences that we have.
Exactly. So I'll just share the. So before that, I just want to tell I just want to communicate how other philosophers in the world, they have thought about our Vedantic philosophy. So the Arthur Schopenhauer is one of the greatest German philosopher. Are you able to all see the screen?
Yes.
So it is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. And Swami Parthasarathi says, living is an art, a skill, a technique. You need to learn and practice it. So all these are focused on the life, because we take birth and we live whatever the lifespan. And how do we live this life? If I ask all of you, is there any one person who says, I am extremely happy and I lived my life very well, I didn't have any kind of sorrow? Do you think anyone can be saying like that? I think I'll just stop. I'll put the window. Sorry for the interruption. Just how do we share this? You can share from there. Yeah, you can share with the window. I close this. Or give me a minute. I think to remove sharing.
No, I'm not ready.
1 second. Sorry, I mean, are you able to see the screens? It's not coming.
Yeah, we are able to see the screen.
Okay. So, okay, I'll not be on the screen, you will not be on the screen, but let us go ahead with the thing. So when I ask you what is life, we have different answers, and our scriptures give us a beautiful answer. Life is defined as stream of experiences. From birth to death, whatever experiences we are having, they're all like a stream, like a garland. So, and at the end of our life, when we look back at our life and say, how was my life? We say, oh, it was very nice, miserable, happy, mixed, whatever it is. It depends upon the kind of experiences we have gone through in our life. Do you all agree?
Yes.
So that means our life is made up of experiences, and we must look into the content of the experience. Suppose I ask you, what is an experience? What would be your answer? Anyway, to save time, we go ahead with the thing. See, our scriptures define an experience as when a subject meets an object. And when the subject contacts an object, an experience is created. So, do you agree with this?
Yes.
Subject means myself. Object means for me the entire world. Similarly, for you, you are the subject, and the entire world is the object. So when we meet, an experience is created. For example, right now I'm talking, and you're all on the other sides listening. So this is creating an experience. After the lecture, you go into various activities, and every activity is creating an experience. So the stream of all this experience, when you put together, until now in your life, you will say, my experience, my life has been very good, very bad, miserable, miserable, whatever it is. Isn't it? So you're sharing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Move to the next one. Next. Okay. So here, our scriptures tell us that the entire history, if you look into the people, the scientists, the researchers, everybody has been going outside into the world and examining and improving the world for the humanity's sake. If you look at the Western world today, they're all prosperous, they have all the facilities in the world, but if you ask them by their own admission, they are not very happy. There are psychological issues, relationship issues, all this creates a mentally sick society. No two people can stay together, no two people can trust each other. This is the situation. Is this the kind of experiences and life we all would like to have? I'm sure all the answer will be in chorus, no. That means we must examine our ancient people have examined the subject aspect much deeper, and we are going to do that examination now. You see, the entire species, if you take in the world, they're all categorized into 3 categories. Next one. So there are plants, animals, and human beings. Can you share that? No, this is not the. So we have this. Can you all see this? Plants, animals, and human beings.
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah, the plants have got a body. They don't have a mind. They don't have an intellect. Animals have a body and a mind, but no intellect. Human being alone has been provided with body, mind, and intellect. Now we must, with this charter, we all must get some kind of curiosity. What is this intellect which has made us different from all the other species? If you look at, suppose imagine about the earth was without human beings, what would have been the condition of this earth 500 years back, today, and another 500 years later? So you all agree that there will not be, you will find the natural erosion and growth. Other than that, there will not be any kind of artificial things that has covered the earth. Today, when we fly and see the down on the earth, the every part of the earth has been modified. You have bridges, computers, aeroplanes, mobiles, computers, everything are there. Just because a human being has got an additional equipment called intellect, the entire world has got a total change, and you see whatever we are having today. Where is this intellect? It is in each one of us. And it is an equipment provided to you by the God for steering your life. Animals don't need an intellect because they don't have a choice of action. They're all programmed. Whereas we have a choice of action, and we have to use that choice of action and select using the intellect. Otherwise, our life will be like animals. The next slide. The slide what we have made, that you have to take it.
Not this one.
No. What I have sent it to you. Yes. Yeah, go back. Yeah. So, are you able to see this? The slide is very small here. If you are able to see. So the next slide, please. So the thinking is a human prerogative. That means no other creature on this planet can think, and only it is the prerogative of the human being. And the next slide. So let us now examine the human being, the subject portion of the experience. We have seen the experience is consisting of subject and an object. So let us examine what each one of us are made up of. We are made up of matter and consciousness. We call it as Jada and Chaitanya. Jada will have the Panchabhutas, and Chaitanya is the activating factor that activates all the material equipments. So let us see now. In this next 3 days course, we will be more focusing on the matter aspect and not the consciousness aspect. The matter aspect is how to live in this world. Consciousness aspect, then what is beyond the world, who is God, and that aspect. Let's move. I'm not sure whether they will be able to see. It is too small. You can make a little more maybe. Yeah. So a human being consists of body, mind, intellect. Now let us examine each one of this. The body. The body is called the Stula Sharira, gross body. So yeah, slightly lifted. Yes. So you will see in the broad body we are having two kinds of organs. One is called organs of perception. The other one is organs of action. All of you must be definitely, we are all Indians. We are generally fed with this kind of information right from young age, that organs of perception, we have this eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. And these 5 organs are the ones with which you are recognizing the world. If one of these organs is not there, to that extent, the world is not there for us. Suppose eyes are not there, we don't know what is color and form. Similarly, we have organs of action. Organs of action, which are with which you are acting. You are having hands, you are using feet, you are using the speech like I am speaking now, and organs of evacuation and organs of procreation. With this, we act in the world. So we are both organs of perception and organs of action put together is called physical personality. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಭೌತಿಕ ಶರೀರ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಭೌತಿಕ ಶರೀರ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. Mind is a feeler. The emotions are felt inside first and then expressed outside. So this emotion, with emotions, we are an emotional personality also. So now let us see what is the intellect. This is the main aspect of the spiritual study. If you study Bhagavad Gita, you study even Upanishads, everywhere they call it the buddhi. Mind is called manasu, intellect is called buddhi, and the buddhi, how this buddhi and manasu and deha, ivu ಮೂರು ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಹೊಂದಿಕೊಳ್ತವೆ, how the body, mind and intellect are related, how they operate integratedly, that is the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. So in intellect we have 2 types. One is the gross intellect, another is the subtle intellect. The gross intellect is the one which goes through the world, it examines the world, it makes use of the world, like our scientists, all of us, whoever are capable of thinking in the world, about the world, how to make this world better for us or even bad for us, we are all thinkers, and through that we are having the gross intellect. Stula buddhi, or so gross intellect provides us the knowledge about this world and how to use this knowledge for our benefit or our destruction. For example, the weapons, nuclear weapons and all are there. Now you are seeing so many wars. All this has been developed using the gross intellect. The subtle intellect is the one which questions what is the basis of all these laws of nature. Who made this world? From where did this universe come from? And how did I land in this place? Where I am going? So these fundamental questions of universe, nature, God, whatever we are totally unknown of, if somebody is questioning, he is having subtle intellect, sukshma buddhi. And this sukshma buddhi is such which we cannot take from somebody else and fill it. This we have to contemplate internally ourselves and think about the reality, and such a person is called as spiritual personality. So when you see now as a composite human being, we are 4 personalities put together. That is, we have a physical personality, we have an emotional personality, we have an intellectual personality, and we have a spiritual personality. Combination of all this is called we as individual subject. Suppose we would like to understand little more about this, the where we are supposed to improve. Let us say physically I am not all right. When we say personality development, what is the personality development? Is where we are weak. That area we are supposed to focus and develop. For example, physically, if I am not all right, I should focus on my physical body and improve on it. Emotionally, emotions, you all know where we are, how good in handling our emotions. Wherever we are having weakness, we are supposed to develop that area. Intellectually, you know how to get the knowledge. Today we are having information from all over the world, and how to utilize this. When we use that intellectual personality is developed. Whereas spiritual personality is one's own understanding of the spiritual knowledge, the studies by the great masters, what has been presented to us, that decides on our spiritual growth. Now let us examine this body, mind, intellect. Body is a gross body, that is a stula sharira. This mind and intellect is called as sukshma sharira athava soul antivan. Now in very ordinary terms, everybody uses soul. What is the soul? This is mind and intellect. So when a person dies, the body is going to be cremated or buried, whereas the mind and intellect is the one which transgresses into the next birth. This is what the scriptures tell us. Generally, all over the world, almost all the religions, they think that there is a soul and it takes rebirth. Okay. Next, let us examine this inner personality. See, the inner personality, when we said it is invisible, whereas the Bhautika Sharira is visible to all of us. Whereas since inner personality is subtler, the rule of the game is the subtler controls the gross. Like for example, you all have come to this session. The body didn't decide to come. It is the mind or the intellect which propelled your body to come and sit for this session. So the inner personality is the more powerful than the gross body. And how does this inner personality functions? That is based on the mind and the intellect. This mind and the intellect are like, see, the mind is consisting of feelings, emotions, impulses, and likes and dislikes. We will examine them a little more in the next few minutes. And the intellect is the one which discriminates, which thinks, it puts logic, it reasons, and then it judges what is right and what is wrong. And after that, it makes a decision. Now, this mind and intellect, if you see here, there is a pattern between this feeling, this mind and intellect. Can someone say about it? What is the pattern between the two? There is a distinct differentiation. I'm trying to interact so that all of you are little awake on this, because it's a little a subtle subject. Yeah.
The intellect will guide the mind.
Yes.
It has discerning powers about
Yes.
what is right, what is wrong.
Yes. About the mind. Okay, let's go into the next slide. We go a little more deeper into this personalities. So just we have to understand that body is it doesn't have a decision making capacity. It follows whatever the subtle personality or the sukshma sharira tells. So, and the body is a house for the sukshma sharira, and it is a vehicle and servant of your sukshma sharira. I think this is very easily understood. There may not be any doubts in this. We'll move to the next. So now let us see the nature of the mind. The scriptures deal too much in depth into the nature of the mind. It is a seat of emotions. All our emotions, positive or negative. What are the positive emotions?
Happiness,
Which makes us happy.
Compassion. See, we are
empathy.
compassion to others. What the happiness, charitable disposition. I try to help others. All that is coming from the positive emotions. What are the negative emotions?
Hatred,
Anger,
hatred, jealousy.
anxiety.
Yeah. All right. So this also our scriptures guide us telling that the negative emotions are called Hari Shadvarga. Hari means enemy. Shat means six. Varga means grow. There are 6 enemies within us, which is called Hari Shadvarga. What are those? Kama, Krodha, Lova, Moha, Mada, Mascharya. I think each one of them we can analyze much deeper, but for the present understanding, let us keep them as a group of 6 enemies we have to be very scared of. And one more emotion is there, that is fear. So these are all all these are stationed inside the mind. And this is called mana, and next one is called chitta, that is storehouse of memories. All your memories from the birth till death is stored inside the mind. It is a huge memory chip. And the third one is the ego sense, the I-ness. Whatever we do, we make a claim. I did this. I didn't do this. So that I-ness, wherever it comes, that is called as ahankara. In the Sanskrit word, it's called ahankara. So the mind is nothing but seat of emotions, storehouse of memory, and ego sense. So in our scriptures, what they define mind as mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. So here what we have done is we have segregated mana, chitta, ahankara into one group, and the buddhi is going to be the other group. So we will analyze a little more on this nature of the mind. This fundamental content of the mind is this first 3: seat of emotion, storehouse of memory, and the ego sense, which says I am the doer. And how they are expressed, how they're coming out into the how they manifest in us, this is how it is. For example, feelings and emotions. See, a feeling is a inner emotion, and when it is expressed, we call it as the feeling of anger comes inside first. When it is expressed physically or by verbally, that becomes an emotion visible. The moment the next thing you see this, they cloud the thinking. When feelings and emotions are there, the discriminating capacity comes down. So they cloud the thinking. And whatever decisions we make at that time, they will be not the perfect decisions. worries and anxieties. See, the mind as always will be fluctuating between the past and the future. Past worries and future, what will happen? Anxieties. This is the nature of the mind. The delusion. Delusion is some kind of, because you have these feelings, emotions, and worries and anxieties, you are not able to think clearly. So what you see in front of you, you see it differently. You see a friend, but you take it that he is not a friend, is a danger to me. Similarly, when you make any decisions, that it is clouded because by the thinking is clouded, your decisions become wrong. Then when you are having these emotions, particularly the negative emotions, you will have fear. You don't know about the other person, and so you develop fear towards that situation. And attachment. I think attachment is a thing which Swamiji has written exclusively one book, Holocaust of Attachment. Anything we possess, we get attached to that. We buy a vehicle, we are attached to that. We get into a business, we get attached to that. We get money, we get attached to that. We marry, we get attached to the spouse. We get children, we get attached to the children, which is the most dangerous thing that is happening in the society today. So this is the nature of all this, or the nature of the mind. You see the likes and dislikes. Can somebody explain this likes and dislikes? These are called raga dvesha in the scriptures. All right. See, we like something, we don't like something. Right from the birth, we develop this likes and dislikes. Right from the baby, when the baby comes out, first thing it touches the mother's bosom. So it develops some kind of a like towards that. Then it has milk, the taste buds will develop. And then it opens the eyes and sees the colors and forms. All that it likes, it takes as memory as likes. And what is not to its taste, it starts dislikes. So even subsequently also, the child is fed with all kinds of, you like this, you take this. You don't like this, you have to merge this. Yeah. So you like this, you take this. You don't like this, don't take it. So this is how we are all grown up, and today we are the bundle of likes and dislikes. What is it? What is wrong if to have likes and dislikes? So there is a danger in this, in the sense the scriptures caution us. The world is not constant to meet your likes and dislikes. Today, I like something, and tomorrow my own likes itself has changed. So every moment, whatever we are liking and liking or disliking, a enemy becomes a friend becomes an enemy. So these likes and dislikes are going to keep on in within us, and externally the world cannot cater to your likes and dislikes. For example, I like a particular food, and when I don't get it, I'll be miserable. So there is nothing wrong in liking a thing, but you should not get craving for that. So in Bhagavad Gita, it says the shreyas and prayers. What is, I like to lace. I don't like to get up early. I don't want to do exercises. I don't like to eat the right food. I don't like to have the right lifestyle. But because all of them are very nice in the beginning, because they are so you like in the beginning, because they are pleasant in the beginning, they result in long-term problems. Your health will be affected, your life will be affected, your relationships will be affected. So it says what looks like, whatever actions you are doing, if they are looking like very nectar in the beginning, they end up as poison in the end. And so imagine you have to eat the right food, which is not very tasty. You have to get up early morning, you don't like, but you get up and do the exercises. You follow a proper lifestyle, which is difficult. This is, even though initially they are looking like poison, in the long run, they will be like nectar. So the scriptures caution us about your likes and dislikes. Whatever it is you like, examine that using the intellect. When you examine it and find it, yes, it is okay, you can have it, then you should go for it. Otherwise, it is like a child. Child keeps on telling, I want this, I don't want this. And I like this. There is no reason or a rhyme in it. So the mind is like a child within us. Even though we are adults, we have grown up and we have lived so many decades, but it is still there like a child. We should be very careful about these likes and dislikes. The other next aspect is the impulses. I think this need not be explained much because we all are aware of this. Most of the time we react, we don't respond. They are all inbuilt within us. One person has very nicely said, we are all wired. That means we are all programmed like an animal. So the mind's activities are all programmed within us. The next one, herd instinct. What is herd instinct? We follow what our predecessors have said. Whatever they said, we have simply followed. Right from our birth, schooling we didn't have a choice because we are too young. They said, go to the school, you are going. Afterwards, we went to colleges. Why did we go to college? Nobody examines. After the schooling, what you do, you go to colleges. After the college, what you do, you take a job or a business. After the business, what you do, you got married. Nobody questions why I should marry. After that, what happens? Children. Why children? We don't examine. It's not that anything of this is wrong, but we have to examine and accordingly we have to take a decision. So the herd instinct is rampant all over, and this needs to be, we have to observe within ourselves and question that. And another aspect of mind is it operates within the memory. Whatever the information stored inside us, within that only it operates. So, and it looks for a minimum effort path. So all these are not deliberated thoughts. A thought comes in the mind and the mind says, I want to do this, and an action is followed. The chronology of action is this. A thought comes, it is processed either in the mind or the intellect, and action is done. So in this case, there is no deliberation by the intellect. Now let us see what the intellect is doing within us. So the nature of the intellect is discrimination. Somebody mentioned, yes, this discriminates. Thinking, reasoning, analyzing. Then judgment. So for making a judgment, you need a clarity. Decision making. What is the difference between judgment and decision making? when we make a judgment, we know what this is the right thing and this is the wrong thing. But the decision making depends upon again the situation. Suppose there is a fight going on, somebody is beating somebody else, or there injustice, you see the injustice happening somewhere, but you are helpless, you will not be able to fight that situation. So even though your judgment clarity is there that is wrong, you have to you are not going to participate in that. So you take a decision, because if you get into that, you will be again in trouble. So similarly, there is a difference between the judgment and decision making. That all this is handled by the intellect. If we have the intellect, we'll be very careful in these matters. And intellect operates within memory and beyond memory. This is where the creativity comes into picture. All that what human mind has created on this planet is because of the intellect, because it is capable of going beyond the memory and pre-supplied information. And whenever you have to think, you need a self-effort. The effort is required. Whereas in the mind, you don't need an effort. Whatever comes, like an animal, the actions are done. Whereas when the question of thinking comes, thinking requires an effort. And this is called the self-effort given to us by the God to make our own choices in life and make our life better. So you see there, it leads to deliberated thoughts and actions. So you don't impulsively, you don't reactively taking a minimum effort path like a child, we don't do it. So now just to summarize these things, like what kind of life we are going to lead depends upon, we have the three gates to our body. For physical body, you receive inputs. Through mind, we receive the emotional inputs. Intellectual thoughts, ideas are coming through the intellect. So what kind of inputs we entertain here, that itself, the filtering itself, like in a company, the raw material is coming. The raw material itself has to be checked, inspected, and accepted or rejected at the store itself. By mistake, the store accepts a wrong raw material, it will go into the production process. There, if it gets rejected, it is a much more loss. If it is not rejected in the process also, and it becomes a finished goods, and after the finished goods is sent for packing, and then it goes to the customer, and there it is rejected, it is much more loss. Exactly same thing here. Suppose we receive wrong perceptions. Perceptions is through the gross body, emotions through the mind, thoughts through the intellect. Perceptions are what the five senses are feeding us. Let us say I like to eat junk food. I feed it, and it has affected my health, and I have to go to a doctor, spend money, and my health is spoiled. So if it is filtered in the entrance itself, no, this food is not suitable for me. Similarly, emotions. All the emotions, the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madam, ascharya, and fear, the negative emotions, have to be stopped at the entrance point. For that, we need an intellect. To control the thoughts, we need an intellect. And similarly, the ideas and thoughts, one can think of what is good for the society, what is good for the general humanity, and act accordingly. Or entertain how to destroy a particular society, like terrorists, like thieves. The ideas of negative results when they are entertained and processed. How you process all these inputs? Again, only through the mind and the intellect. And if the mind is powerful and the intellect is weak, so it will process wrongly. To give an example of the mind and intellect's relationship, it is like a river. The river is flowing and the banks containing it. So the banks are like an intellect. It is guiding the water. The water is like the mind. The thoughts, the desires are like the water. When the banks are not sufficiently powerful, the water can flood the banks and destroy the fields. That is, field means our individual subject. So if we are able to develop our intellect very powerfully, any amount of water coming, let there be a flood, it should not flood. Let there be a heavy rains, storms, everything. In spite of that, the banks should be able to ensure that water is guided. That is the necessity for a human being. So how we respond through the body, mind, and intellect, that is, first is how you receive the inputs, how you process, and how you respond through. This decides the quality of your life. I presume the information has been correctly presented by me and also understood. The next slide. So this is the total human being personality, the composite personality. This we need to give attention. The body, mind, and intellect we have. See, Swamiji says one of the top psychiatrists in London, he took an appointment and met Swamiji. And I asked, what can I do for you? He said, I attended your lecture and you are telling about mind and intellect. What is this intellect? So imagine a psychiatrist of number one psychiatrist of Western countries, he is not aware of intellect. Then how we all can be knowing? Fortunately, our scriptures, right from the beginning, they discriminate these factors within the human being. So we are fortunate to have this categorization, clearly structured presentation of what we are. Who am I? The who am I in the gross level is this. Who am I in the spiritual level? That is the next course. In the coming few more sessions, we will be going much deeper into these aspects. We analyze the mind and the intellect, how they're shaping the lives of the human beings, how it is destructive when not properly understood and applied, and how it is fantastic when it is understood. Like a diabetic patient is been warned by the doctor, don't touch any more sweets, you will be in more trouble. And a friend brings the best sweets to him. What does he do? If he says, if he picks it up and starts eating, his mind is more powerful and his intellect is like a rat below. If he say, the moment the sweets come, he thanks his friend, then calls the children around and says, take this box, go and enjoy. Without any hesitation, without any feeling that I am missing the sweet. Such capacity of that person is, the intellect is very powerful and the mind is listening to him. This is the quality of humans we should have. We all should be, and we expect the society should be. Today it is the other way. The mind is so powerful generally with all the people, including the current generation children. All attractions are available all over the world. Money is also there. When we were young, we didn't have money. Maybe we also would have been attracted if we had money. Unfortunately, we did. Fortunately, we didn't have. Now, unfortunately, today there is no development of the intellect. Modella, when they were sent to the college schools, they were told to learn Vidya and Buddhi. Vidya is information, knowledge. Buddhi is a wisdom. So the intellect. So Vidya comes in the mind level, the storehouse of memory, and the Buddhi comes in the intellect level to handle this mind, the intelligence, whatever. But unfortunately today, the entire universities provide intelligence, not the wisdom. That is where everything is ulta now. So to handle, suppose a rich person is there, for him to handle his own property, wealth, everything, he needs an intellect, powerful intellect. Since the powerful intellect is not there, you will see many of the rich people unhappy. Similarly, to handle our own physical personality, right food to eat, right lifestyle, everything, we need an intellect. And to handle our emotions, control our emotions, we need an intellect. And to handle our ideas and thoughts, also we need an intellect. So there is one example, Swamiji says there is a #1 scientist in US. And his wife took him to his house asking Swamiji to put some sense into my husband's head. That person is #1 scientist, but he has no control on his liquor intake. Any small thing he breaks the things. He has no control on his emotions. This is the kind of situation he is in. So the necessity, importance of intellect and its development is the most important thing, which we will be covering in the next 3 sessions. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can take it.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. Anyone who has any questions can unmute themselves.
You can stop sharing. So,
Sir is trying to say something.
you're muted, I think.
He's on unmute. Sir, you're not audible. So please check your headphones.
You can unmute now, Sudarshan. Why can't we have a voice?
Sir, you are on unmute, but you're not audible, sir. Please check your connection. Okay. So, sir wants all the participants to actively ask questions and take the benefit. Since sir is there with us, so he can actually answer all our questions related to our lives. He's very wise. Please make use of this opportunity.
Uncle, this
Yes,
is Tanuja.
Tanuja.
Yeah, I met you last week with Savita. So, my question is, in your experience, can you say that we can design our life as we need? Because as a kid, till I was in PU, I felt I will design my life. I will not go with the luck. I will not believe in luck. But afterwards, I started believing in it. But what is your perception? Can we design our luck, our life, or should we go with the flow?
This is what the scriptures say, that you make your life or you mar your life. You can make your life better. It all depends upon the intellect developed within us. See, whatever we are today is based on all our decisions we have taken in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever we will be in next 2 years will be based on all our decisions taken in this period. Question is, how do we make these choices? Every moment we have a choice. Today you had a choice to attend this program or not to attend. You have a choice tomorrow. Every moment you have to make choices. So if you examine your choices with respect to today's information, and you see how many of them has been made after deliberation, thorough analysis, taking the advice of wise people, and if you have taken those decisions, to that extent your life will be to your planning. If we have made errors, doesn't matter. From today, we have to look into the decision making using the intellect. We should not be driven by the likes and dislikes. Whenever there is a like, we must question and check with the intellect. See, many of these children, youngsters, they say that I am passionate about something and that's why I have taken this job. I asked them again, little more, 2 more questions. They crack. Why are they passionate? Because it gives me more money, because somebody was successful. But having a passion is not a problem. But have I examined my own resources to achieve that? I want to become a film actor, let us say. Do I have those resources? Have we got that good looks, capability of expressing emotions? Am I intelligent enough to handle the dialogues? If I am, then go ahead. But if I don't have and I am passionate, it leads to misery. So we have to very carefully analyze every choice of our actions. I hope I have answered the question, Amma.
Yes, uncle, but according to your experience all these days, how do you define life? Is it something we can design according to our taste or according to our choice, or according to my experience, I feel it's a mixture of both, going with the flow and designing a part of it. But what do you feel?
Yes. See, there is one aspect which we didn't discuss. There is a Drishtapala and Adrishtapala. Whatever we are now, you go into engineering college and you definitely, if you come out, you'll be an engineer. There is a clarity is there.
Yeah.
The question is whether you will get a rank or not. It depends upon your application of your studies, all that, and the disturbances that come in the way for you, which you are not expecting. So there, the karma, law of karma is brought in. They say, suppose I had so much of interest in becoming so and so, and there have been various obstructions.
Mhm.
Then they are attributed to our own past karmas, either in this birth, and if you believe previous births, from there it has communicate. Committedly, and they have come and affected us. So the beauty here is, once we understand this law of karma,
Mhm.
we would be more careful. We would be very careful to exhaust those negative aspects, what probably we have done. You may say, I have not done anything, but the results are seen like that. So you may have to accept that adrishtapala to that extent. And because now we are intelligent, because the scriptures have told us, from now onwards, we don't make any wrong choices. So over a period of time, we will be guiding our own life in the way we want.
Got it. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, please.
so I'm a mother to a 13-year-old boy, 14 now, and I find, I find it very difficult in the sense that they are like they have their own way of doing things, right? Like, so if you tell them, you don't have to tell me this, you don't have to tell me this. So I'm not sure how to, at this teenage, how to go about, disciplining them, or just leave them. Because right now, see, we know, according to them, the studies which they do in school are useless, and it's not going to help them in future. In future means they are not going to use that information, but they still have to study. And we have a lot of arguments related to that. So I am unable to like make head or tail of it, and I'm just like, okay, go with the flow. But I don't know if it's the right approach.
This is now a universal problem. So the errors are both in the parents as well as the circumstances under which the child is. A child cannot be told you cannot do this. You will try to do only that. That is the nature of the mind. We just analyzed the mind. Anything you say don't do it, it will do it. The mind is stubborn. So the child is like that. We have to very carefully. First thing is we have to develop our intellect. You can mute it, Amma. So we have to develop our intellect and very carefully observe the child and give whatever instructions that are required to be given. I too have a grandson exactly same age, and I understand exactly what you mean. But there is a way how to handle them, and they are being, not that they are going to listen to all what we say, but that's what the best you can do. And he also comes out with his own nature. See, the children are also born with their nature. You will see the same aged boy, some other house, very obedient, very, he doesn't even talk loudly. That is the nature of the kid who is born. So we have to understand the nature of the child, whether he is a very aggressive boy or a very submissive boy. Accordingly, if he is an aggressive boy, we cannot give them aggressive, we cannot be aggressive with them. The beauty of this knowledge is, suppose an emotional person is there, you can't put logic into him. if a boy or a girl says, I love him, I love some boy, and you know very clearly there is that's something wrong with that boy or the girl, any amount of you are telling, they are already emotionally entangled. It is not possible, they will not listen. No logic works. So the only way, even what Swamiji has got a lecture on this, how to mold children, he gives advice to the parents, how they should be able to more calmly assess the child and give more of the instructions as suggestions. And one is very important is to give them as suggestions, not ordering them. If you order, they will not listen. They will do exactly opposite of it. Number two is we maintain a high standard of discipline. You cannot discipline a child by directly, like in a school, military like school, we cannot impose anything to them. We have to be disciplined. In our actions, in our talks, in the style of living. Suppose I am not keeping my own cupboard properly, how can you ask the child to keep the cupboard proper? And if I am telling lies, how can we tell the child to be? And he is observing. He is very careful. He is very, very sharp. They will be observing everything what is happening. If I am putting tantrum on, I keep shouting, I'm angry all the time, the child will not listen to us. If you say don't be angry, he will say, he will not say, but he says there is no value for the advice. So we have to be model in all our life activities, which they will observe and they will do it. See, my grandson, when he was 4 years or 5 years, he took a knife from they seemed to do some cutting something, and it was very sharp knife. I told him, don't take it, don't take it. He said, no. I kept quiet. Within a minute, he came with the blood, started crying and all that. And until now, till yesterday he had some, by mistake, something has fallen and he had cut. Otherwise, there was no cut. So when they learn on their own, they will definitely be. Suppose I had taken away the knife on that day, you would have got cut some other time, maybe much more dangerously. So the onus is on us as parents. We conduct ourselves in a way that communicates to the child.
And
And
what is
slowly-
the answer to this part that, whatever they are teaching in school is not useful, but I have to study because it's, they ask all this in examination, but, like biology, for example, why am I going to use this information and where I'm going to use this? So there's no answer to that, right? I mean, it's a system, and right now we are in the school, so we have to follow it, right?
Yes. So I think these are all very legitimate questions by the children, and we have to think how to answer them. See, in life, in so many things we touch upon, and we don't use everything. So we'll have to tell him, we go in a river, crossing from one end to the other end. We don't use the entire river. We use a small portion to go. So the life is like that. Somewhere, someplace, you may need to use biology. By chance, you become a biology teacher. You will have to know all this. We don't know your future. That is how we should know. And somewhere it will be useful for us. Only very calmly, children will not accept any kind of, aggressive things. You're telling he is 14, still there, even though he's a teenager, not like our time. When a teenager means he has already gone through the life's drill. He has worked hard, earned enough, and he was, he has to work and then study. All those things were there. But today they are all in a different, atmosphere situation, and we have also fed them with all that kinds of support. Not engaging them with physical work and doing some tough jobs. So we have to very politely, very lovingly only we have to tell. There is no other way. there is a CD here. Sometimes if you are coming this side, you can listen to that or take one of the CDs. These days CDs are not used, but we can record it and give it to you if you wish. What Swamiji has given the advice, he has given mainly to the
Yes,
parents.
I'll be happy to do that. I'll ask
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Please come and take it. Ria will be here. She will be able to give you that.
Okay.
So if there are no other questions,
I'll just drop in the details for the Satsang Bhavan here in the chat itself and the contact number now. So anyone wants to connect, they can connect or can walk into the Satsang Bhavan. It's in HSR Sector 6 itself.
so thank you. So let us connect tomorrow 5 minutes to 10.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mama.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.